CBS Sports, we're fighting. Ugh, let's get into it. So they released their top 100 players, and yes, we made the list a couple times, but there are some issues I have with certain players not being on this list. Okay? So first off, top 100 players in the NFL. How in the world is T. Higgins not a top 100 player? I understand, like, I think he's a top 10 receiver. But for most people, they're like, okay, well, top 15, top 20, whatever. I don't care about that. He's not a top 100 player? Woosa. Woosa. Okay, good. Let's start off. Let me move this up. We got Tyler Lindenbaum. Okay, we got Will Anderson Jr., Kirko, Levante David, Brian Burns, Jeffrey Simmons, Zach Martin, Jalen Carter, Honey Badger, and Derrick Henry. Okay. I'm not really against any of these players being top 100. And again, for most of these players, I'm not going to be against the idea of them being top 100. It's really just the fact that T. Higgins is not, which really upsets me. Trey Smith, okay. Mike Evans, Jordan Love. Mike Evans being this low. Being this low is kind of crazy. I think he should be higher on the list. That's kind of crazy being 88 right here. Jordan Love, Debo, Joe Thuney, Devonta Smith. And again, keep in mind, this is every single player in the NFL, so there's a lot of players, right? Okay. Nico Collins being above Debo Samuel and Mike Evans, that's kind of crazy. I don't know if I would put Nico Collins that high. I'm very much a fan of Nico Collins. I think he's a great receiver. But I don't know if I'd put him up that high. George Pickens is 68. How? No. I'm actually wondering now. George Pickens, right? Last season had 1,100 yards. The first year he played, he had 804 yards. I get that, right? And I understand that's pretty dang good. But I'm gonna take out myself from the Mike Evans sweepstakes. I'm sorry, about the T. Higgins sweepstakes. Mike Evans, okay? Last season, 1,200 yards. He had 100 more yards than George Pickens last year. The year before that, when George Pickens had 800 yards, Mike Evans had 1,100 yards, then 1,000, then 1,000, then 1,100, 1,500. How is George Pickens better than Mike Evans? I'm not even putting the T. Higgins on here right now. It is the fact that, what? Last year, George Pickens had 5 touchdowns. Year before that, 4. Mike Evans had 13 last year. Mike Evans had more touchdowns than George Pickens had in his whole entire career. How? I need to be smoking whatever you're smoking, Mr. CBS Sports, because you're on that good apparently. George, and over Debo? DJ Moore, Devonta Smith, all of these receivers are better than George Pickens and Nico Collins. This list is a joke. Garrett Wilson, okay, I'm cool with Garrett Wilson there. Even though Garrett Wilson, again, just to kind of go against my point here, because I do really like Garrett Wilson, and I'm biased toward him, but Garrett Wilson should not be that high on the list. He is coming off 2 1,000-yard seasons. Wait, Garrett Wilson? Ain't no way. How is George Pickens better than Garrett Wilson? George Pickens, 800 yards, 1,100 yards. Literally, Garrett Wilson, 1,100 yards, 1,000 yards. He had 200 more yards than George Pickens and the same amount of touchdowns. What is this list? Oh, Lordy. And I'm not even looking at other positions, by the way, when it comes to this. I'm looking at receivers at this point. Jalen Waddle, okay, I'm not too upset about that. Brandon Ayuk is better than Deebo Samuels? I think he's a good receiver, but he's better than Deebo? He's better than Mike Evans? He's better than DJ Moore? Garrett Wilson? What? Trey Hendrickson's number 33. I'm less like in favor of like seeing this because of how stupid this list is. Amon St. Brown, 39. That makes sense. He's a great receiver. The Sun God's an amazing receiver. AJ Brown, 27. I think he should be high on the list. CD Lamb, okay. Devontae Adams. Like this makes sense. This is logical. We can enjoy this. What is this list, bro? Oh, I'm done. I am done. Is this top 100 players of last year? Or just right now? How is Aaron Rodgers on the top 100? He didn't play last season. I guess it's like this upcoming season, so they're projecting where these players will be. Okay, Chase 13, Joe number 15. All right, so let's see all the quarterbacks they have above Joe. They say Joe is above Lamar, which I agree. Okay. Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes are the only quarterbacks above Joe. I'm not even going to get into that. That's stupid, but it is what it is, okay? I've seen those takes all around. I'm not really crazy about that. Let me just see this. Best is Patrick. Number 2, honestly, I don't know if I'd agree with that. And this is not me being a hater. I might put TJ Watt above Myles Garrett. Nick Bosa is up there too. CMC is up there as well. Justin Jefferson is up there. I don't know if I put Myles Garrett as number 2. I'd say, because does Myles Garrett fully change a game like Aaron Donald did? I don't think so. I think Justin Jefferson's number 2, or CMC. Could be Micah Parsons as well. I don't know if I put Myles Garrett number 2, but I think we're splitting hairs with this one. This top 10 list I'm okay with. Obviously, I would put Joe, at number 6 here, and I sub out number 6 and number 6 and number 15. I know you might say, well, why wouldn't you put Joe at number 1? I'm trying not to be biased. I promise. I'm trying to be as NFL realistic as possible, as I would put Joe as number 1. But I would probably put Joe at number... Okay, let me be biased a little bit then. Let me be biased one time on this, okay? Number 1 is definitely Patrick Mahomes. Number 1 is definitely Joe Burrow. I wouldn't put Patrick number 6, though. I would say this is Joe, this is Patrick, and then, again, the rest of this list outside of Josh Allen, I'm not really too upset about. This segment, Jamar being here, I think is pretty accurate. Aaron Rodgers, I think, is kind of crazy here, but I'm not, too upset with this area, except for, again, replace Josh Allen and put Josh Allen here and then move everyone, around. And I'm not too upset with this area. I think this area is kind of okay. Yeah, I'm not upset with this area either. I think the top 30, they're not too off. Outside, I think Joe would be number 1, or at least number 2 if you're going to be, biased toward Patrick. This area, I'm not too crazy against it. The fact that we only have 2 players on the top 100 for this, I think it's kind of disrespectful. T. Higgins is a top 100 player. I don't give a crap what people say. T. Higgins is 100% a top 100 player. Outside of T on our team, Orlando coming off a really bad season, but if this is projected, I think Orlando should be top 100. Cam Taylor-Britt 100% deserves to be top 100 on defense. I think Logan Wilson should be. I know not everyone loved Logan Wilson. Some people think he's, not that good. But I think he's amazing. Jermaine Pratt, I think he's up there. Geno Stone should be top 100. After last season, he had a really good last season. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Sam Hubbard, I could see them not putting top 100. I wouldn't be too against it. I love Sam, but I don't know if he would be top 100. Yeah, that might be it. Am I forgetting like one glaring player? I don't think I am. On our roster, no. So, like, again, I'm not saying every player from our roster should be top 100, but T 100% should be. Geno Stone, I think, should be. I think Orlando Brown, if you're projecting, he should be. If you're going off last season, then why is Aaron Rodgers number 20? Get out of here with that crap. But if you're projecting for the future, I would say, yeah, I think overall wise, Orlando should be top 100. Cam Taylor-Britt 100% should be top 100. I'm not saying he should be top 20, but if you put him, like, let's say in 90s or 80s, I think that's realistic for Cam Taylor-Britt. Mike Hilton, I think, should be on the top 100 list. I don't know. They wouldn't do it, but I feel like for how good he is in the slot, I feel like it's kind of criminal not to put him top 100. Although, again, like I said, I know they wouldn't do it. But I'm not going to, again, I'm not splitting. I'm not going to be too upset if you don't put Mike Hilton on top 100. But Cam Taylor-Britt definitely deserves to be. Overall wise, again, CBS Sports, you're making yourself a clown as always. So, clowning yourself here. But tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. I'll see you guys next one.